Welcome back to Warthog News. This week, the big news is the May sale, as well as there was a new game mode that I felt was very interesting, but also I have some corrections from my last video to go over, so be sure to hit the subscribe button. Now let's first talk about this May sale. The May sale is supposed to be themed after VE Day, or Victory in Europe Day, and it keeps to this theme as there is a pack coming on the 7th in which contains various Second World War vehicles. However, there are plenty of non-Second World vehicles on sale, but not on the store. See, the conditions of this sale are a little iffy and poorly written in the announcement page, but essentially from the 1st to the 4th, Japanese, German, and Italian vehicles will be on sale for only 30% off. And then from the 4th to the 7th, it'll be Chinese and French, and then from the 7th to the 11th, it'll be US, Russian, and Great British vehicles. Now it states that it's only for vehicles from the 1st to the 4th rank. However, Tech Tree and GE vehicles are on sale beyond those ranks. Perhaps between the marketing division and whoever wrote the announcement page, or some sort of a misunderstanding. So essentially, the only things that aren't on sale are things added from the last two patches and packs that are rank 5 or above. Non-vehicle things that are on sale, you can get talismans and modifications and backups. We can also get some premium time, 50% off. In-game, using Golden Eagles, you can get 90 days 50% off, but on the store, using your credit card, you can get 180 days 50% off. The full year premium is not on sale. This has come to annoy quite a few people, myself included, as last year and years prior they had bought a year premium around this date. However, this time around they will not be getting the usual discount. Gaijin's excuse is that the year of premium was on sale about a month ago, although these people's premiums wasn't running out a month ago. Now it is, and typically they were able to be purchasing a new year of premium right around the time it was running out. Well, this year they can't, because they should have known that it wasn't going to be on sale when traditionally it was. Also, a lot of people are annoyed that it's only 30% off, which I completely understand, as when I get a 30% discount on any vehicle, I have no interest in buying it. So for to get one on every vehicle, I still have no interest in buying any of them. And it seems Gaijin is trying to make it up to these people who are annoyed with these slight inconveniences by making Golden Eagles on sale, which is not a common occurrence. Overall, the sale's just another sale. If you're dissatisfied with the prices here, you could wait till the anniversary event in October or Christmas. However, those are pretty far away. Sometimes they also have summer sales. Last point for the sale is there's some packs being removed from the store entirely, and also some old pack vehicles now available for Golden Eagles. Other ones being taken away is the P47M1 Re, the Kyushimo, the Tomahawk pack, which is the Chinese P40, the P40 Lencio, the Italian tank, the Chinese T62, the Cromwell, as well as the Xbox version, and titled the Centurion, but is actually the STRV-81 with the SS11s attached to it. From my estimations, the ship packs being taken away is kind of standard as what they're doing with the other ship packs, and I wouldn't be surprised to see if they would return a few months later as Golden Eagle premiums. The Tomahawk being taken away is disappointing, as I don't have it, though once again it could return as a Golden Eagle premium. The Italian P40 tank is an interesting one, as if they remove it, there's not going to be any premiums for the Italian tree. Perhaps they are making room for some other ones, but early Italian tree definitely needs a lot of love, and removing the premium isn't exactly doing that. The STRV-81 pack, I assume, is going to be reappearing sometime in the future as a Swedish premium, as it is a Swedish vehicle, so I'm not too surprised to see that one go. The real thought-provoking one is the Chinese T62. Has led many to believe that a more advanced rank 6 Chinese premium is soon to be added, as they have plenty of vehicles to choose from. For example, the Jaguar tank, which was a joint development project with China and the US in the 70s. While the US did put more effort into it, US trees are already full of Israeli tanks anyways, so give it to China. Why not? Next subject in the video is about the game mode Quarantine Maneuvers that popped up a little while after an article on the Army website proclaimed that soldiers were maintaining readiness by playing video games. The article actually never states which game they are playing, but it does show a dude playing War Thunder. So Gaijin made the game mode in which you play top tier tanks, but you can only access this game mode, or you could when it was going, if you had rank 5 vehicles. However, if you don't happen to have any, you could buy some premium rank 5 vehicles in the store. Essentially, the game mode was just trying to get the US Army to spend money on War Thunder. Judging by the 30% off sale, I don't think it worked. However, I found the game mode to be quite fun. I'm not exactly sure what made it fun, but something about it made it fun. What it was top tier lineups, no jets, but you got helicopters, 2 top tier tanks, an IFV, and some sort of anti-air vehicle. And the nations were split up and between what nation you would play. So America would only be with other American tanks, Russia was only with Russian tanks, and European nations were all mixed together as a EU army, I guess. Yes, it wouldn't be an EU army because Britain was in there. But beyond that, it was just a regular capture the magic circles game mode. So something about it made it kind of fun. I have two theories on what that was. You didn't have to worry about RP or SL as the vehicles were spaded, and you didn't have to pay their repair costs. So when playing the game, you didn't have to worry about grinding out the next module. You already had the better ammo, you had FE parts, and there was no real punishment for dying besides you lost the tank, which removes a lot of unneeded stress from the game, and I think Gaijin should think about that. What if there were no silver lions, and you didn't have to worry about them at all? Just researching things. Also, FE parts were stock on all vehicles. Now, perhaps you would make less money doing that approach, but also perhaps you would have more players who could give you more money overall. The other possibility, and I think why I had so much fun, was the matching teams. That was an aspect that I really missed from old ARB. When you took a zero out, there was a bunch of other zeros flying with you, and your enemy was, of course, US aircraft. US and British were always mixed together, so it really helped you get immersed in the fictitious battle that was happening on Saipan for the 600th time. Nowadays, it's just Axis Blob versus Ally Blob and somewhere in Europe, so when you take out your Japanese plane, you're fighting over Berlin, and it doesn't make any sense, and it's far too removed to really immerse to anything, and kind of kills the mood. And for tanks, it's always been Axis Blob versus Allies Blob, or Soviet Blob versus non-Soviet Blob. Now, it wasn't only aesthetics that were lost when it became only mixed battles, or essentially only mixed battles. There was a lot to it of understanding the strengths of your nation's aircraft and the weaknesses of whatever nation's aircraft you're going up against. Like, US aircraft don't turn, but they have good high speeds at high altitudes, so if you could get up to high altitudes, you'd control the skies. Although for Japan, they commonly had really good turn rates, but weaker armaments, so having a dogfight with them at low altitudes would always lead to death, but if you were to be booming and zooming all day, you'd gain the upper hand. Now, if you try to do booming and zooming, you're going to get killed by the 109s, and if you try to turn fight, you're going to get killed by the zeros. Now, it is much harder to balance the game with that old style where you put nations against nations, because once again, nations had strengths and weaknesses, but it was kind of fun to see it happen with tanks. Now, top tier tanks, they kind of all act the same, but I wonder how different the gameplay would be if it was only German versus Soviets, or Americans versus Germans, or Americans versus Japanese. Which tanks would do well, which tanks would not. The outcome probably wouldn't be too different than what we already see, but I think it would be a whole lot cooler. Mixed battles are just lame. Anyways, speaking of Japanese aircraft, over on DMM, they're having some sort of event. Now, it's all in Japanese, so I'm not going to read the things, but essentially, you do some things and you get some really cool Japanese decals. And I'm not talking anime girls or anything stupid like that. They're historical decals that you would find on aircraft, and they're really cool. On top of that, they're also handing out a skin for the F4EJ. Now, I'm not telling you the exact details on how to get this because, well, it's in Japanese, and it's only for the Japanese. You have to have a DMM account and do some other things, I think. I don't know. Essentially, we're not getting it. I don't know why. It's not like it would offend anyone over here like the weird anime skins do. I don't get this one, and we're severely missing out, which is unfortunate. Now, my last major news story for this video is actually some corrections from my last video, as last video I was handling with some outdated information. They had changed it the day it was uploaded. So I'm gonna go over the tech tree stuff. None of the research or SL costs were changed though, just repair costs and tech tree position changes. So starting with the US, to get the Catalinas, you first have to research the TBD1. And also in my last video, I said that to get the P40E, you had to research first the P36G. That was actually incorrect. They stated that it was revoked. Same with the F2A being needed to get the F4F. You don't need that anymore. For Germany, the G91R3 is no longer going to rank 6, and its research and silver lion costs are not being increased. A lot of people were upset that they had not researched the thing yet and it had had such a large jump. Well, no longer. You still have an opportunity. Though I would be very cautious, they might try to do it in the future. But also for Germany, unfortunately, the newer 20mm Puma has lost its ability of scouting and repairing allied tanks, as it is only rank 1, and for some reason rank 1 light tanks aren't allowed to have that. For Russia, the only new thing is that the BT-7 F-32 received the airstrike modification. For Japan, there's one new change to the tech trees. The Ho-Ro has been moved to rank 2, which brings me hope that perhaps we'll see a new rank 1 spag for them. And something that I had missed, the Key 10-2K, or I believe it's supposed to be C, and that's just a typo, has been moved over to the naval aircraft line right before the A5M4. What the Key 10-2C is a very rare Key 10. Why they bother moving this at all, I don't understand, as very little people actually have it. For Italy, one thing was changed. Now the RE 2001 Series 1, CB, and CN have all been grouped together. Prior, the change was that only the Series 1 and CB had been grouped together and located before the CN. For France, the Centurion Mark III M3A3 both received their proper light tank abilities of scouting and repairing allied tanks as they are rank 2, and I believe this also qualifies for the Chinese M3A3. For Sweden, the J29F had been moved to rank 6, and the STRF-90C has gained the ability to repair allied tanks. In the terms of repair costs, the ones I stated in the last video weren't necessarily wrong, but they have added a bunch of other ones that have spiked up to the point in which I should talk about them. In that context, it would be things that have changed about 3,000 civil lines worth or above. For example, the AH-64A and AH-64 P-10 both had theirs changed. The regular one had a reduction of 2,930 for its civil lines, now being 4,460, and the P-10 had a reduction of 2,880, now having a repair cost of 1,300. The other US Apache did also have a repair cost change, but wasn't great enough for me to care about it. For Germany, the new ones would be the JU-188A2 had an increase of 3,240, now having a max repair cost of 11,860, and the Radkampfwagen 90 had an increase to its repair cost of 5,690, now having a max repair cost of 8,840. For Russia, still only changed the TU4, same values, and same with the Chinese one. Nothing for the UK was significant enough of a change. For Japan, the only great change was the Chikugo, which increased by 8,320 to a max repair cost of 14,220. For Italy, the only significant change was for the Centauro Metal Gear Solid, which had a decrease of 3,840, now having a max repair cost of 5,880. As usual, when repair cost changes come out, people were making a big deal about the RE 2005 Series Zero's repair costs as well as the G56's. However, this time around, the RE 2005s actually had a reduction of 2,000, now being 16,000, and the G56 had no change at all. So I guess this time around there isn't too much to complain about. Now you complain more about the various boats having massive increases to the repair costs. Although really, you could just complain about repair costs in general. They only are there to slow the grind down. They don't use them to balance things. They use them to slow the grind down. Sweden got hit real hard with the repair cost stick. And also I forgot to organize these in a logical manner, so it's going to be jumped around on the battle ratings quite a lot, but here goes. The J21A2 had an increase to its repair cost of 5,920, now having 12,820. The J35D had a reduction of its repair cost of 10,750, now only being 7,750. The Moko Moraine had an increase to its battle rating of 3,880, now being 5,820. The IKV-91 had an increase to its repair cost of 3,640, now being 7,980. The USH-405 had also an increase to its repair cost of 5,980, now being 8,380. The STRF-90C had an increase to its repair cost of 7,560, now being 9,900. The CV-90-120 had a decrease to its max repair cost of 3,960, now being 9,990. The STRV-81 had an increase to its repair cost of 4,990, now being 12,190. The STRV-121 had an increase of its repair cost of 10,830, now being 14,130. And the STRV-122 had an increase of its repair cost of 3,510, now being 18,450. The VEAK-40, what is with the weird names of these Swedish tanks? Why can't you just call them like Tank 1 or something? I guess he did, never mind. Had an increase to its repair cost of 3,520, now being 5,220. The LVRBV-701 had an increase to its max repair cost of 14,100, now being 17,700. And the LVKV-90C had an increase to its repair cost of 5,180, now being 7,690. And that's all of them. Now, to close out this video, I have a few more things I'd like to talk about. Some quotes from Sim 1080p. Now, these are a little old, but they're still relevant. First one being actually a twofer. Someone was stating that France and Italy do not have any 10.0 plus jets. And so Sim replies to it saying, Italy have only one supersonic option, full stop. It is beyond 10.0, so is no surprise. I'll let you derive whatever you need out of that statement. It feels like they're hinting towards something for Italy may or may not come. The other segment he replied to was stating stuff about the German tree and various aircraft that we could see coming in it. One of them they mentioned was the F4F. And then he states the F4F is not coming this update. There was just a question about it in the Q&A. Plus, Germany already has a potent MiG-21 variant, so they are not without for now. And finally, a third question that was in between quite a lot of censorship. Somebody asked, I wonder what are the chances we'll see the F-105? And he replies with 0% in this update. But in some positive news, if you're interested in new jet that's possibly coming. There is a lad who is working on a Supermarine Scimitar. I presume so it could be added into the game. And his most recent posts on the War Thunder live page make it seem as if it is near completion and possibly could be ready for the next patch, though we'll have to wait and see. Now before I end the video, I'd like to give a big thank you to my new Patreon, Thundybot. Thank you very much. And for YouTube members, I also have a new YouTube member, Mehmet Hezarchi. Thank you very much for joining. Emma Rex, Dreeplosky, The Royal Rat, John is having a divorce, Tex, One Max, Roger Rammer, Grimace, Mighty Peppers, Pointless Gunsinks, and Waffly Joker 6. A big thank you to all of you. YouTube members and Patreons get videos uploaded a little bit early, unique Discord role, and should also be getting special permissions on my Minecraft server. So if you'd like to join them, be sure to hit the join button down below or the Patreon link. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, be sure to hit me down below or on my Discord. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button. If you didn't like the video, don't hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. I make War Thunder Weekly news videos every Sunday, I make random reviews of the week, and I like to stream on Saturdays. So be sure to hit the bell icon to be notified anytime I upload anything. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. In the terms of bonus news, Mother's Day is coming up on the 10th, so be sure to not disappoint your mom.